Hey guys, Jason from Remax Real Estate Center here for this week's JV update. This week we're going to be talking about 4 tips for if you're starting to think about buying in the next year or so, and a tip of the week. So over the last week and a half or so, I've had a surprising number of people contact me saying that they want to start thinking about buying in the next 6 months or a year, and they don't really know where to start. So today I'm going to bring you 4 things to start thinking about if you want to buy in 2018. Tip number 1, start thinking about your needs and your wants. Now, there's a big difference between what you need in a home and what you want in a home. And for you and your partner or whoever you might be buying with, it's going to be important to start determining where you guys overlap in what your needs are and what your wants are. Start thinking about those not only for now in your current state and your current lifestyle, start thinking about that for 3 or 5 years from now. If you're thinking about getting into a bit of a starter home and plan on being there for 4 years, then you don't have to plan for what your life is going to be like in 10 years. But you want to start thinking about, okay, well, how long do I really see myself being in this new home, and how are my needs going to change in that time? Point number 2, sit down and talk finances with a specialist and a professional. Even if it's going to be a year from now before you buy something, it's going to be so important for you to have your finances in great condition so that when you do find that perfect property, or you are ready to take the plunge and become a homeowner or make that step up, you need to have all your ducks in a row to give you the best chance of getting that perfect property. Point number 3, figure out what your timeline is like. Do you want to be making that move in 90 days? Are you thinking half a year, 2 years? It's important to have that conversation if you're buying on your own. Have that conversation with yourself or loved ones about what they think would make the most sense for your lifestyle. Or if there's a significant other, somebody you might be buying a property with, start talking about what is realistic in terms of timeline and make a decision about what you're going to do with your current living situation. If you are renting, do you need to start looking at re-signing a lease that might not last a whole year? Maybe you can try to get a 4-month or 6-month lease. Or if you have a property of your own, you need to start thinking about what kind of things can I do to make my property show even better when it is time for me to sell, to make that part easier so the purchase of my new home is very, very smooth. Point 4 is something that I talk about all the time, and that is get informed. If you are even starting to get your toes wet and thinking about making a move in the next year, I really encourage people to start looking at those neighborhoods that they like or that they might want to make a move into, and start tracking that market. What houses are coming up for sale? How long are they sitting there? What are they selling for? And keep track of news in that area. Are there any new schools or community centers going up in that neighborhood? These will be important things for you to be aware of to give you an advantage when it does come time for you to pull the trigger and submit. Start getting that thought in your head that you might want to make a move in the next 6 months or a year. The big thing is about starting as early as possible. You need to start talking about your needs, your finances, your timeline, and your market. Those are the 4 things you really have to start thinking about, even if you don't intend to buy for another 6 months or a year. This week's tip of the week, if you are planning on buying gifts in the month of December, this week is probably a good one to do it, because if you wait any longer than this, you may run into some difficulties getting these things before the new year.